Welcome back to the deep dive. Look, if you're in trucking today, you know the deal. The pressure is just, it's relentless, isn't it?
It really is. You've got freight rates all over the map,
Mm-hmm.
confusing regulations coming from different directions, foreign competition.
And don't forget traffic, just soul-crushing traffic eating up your clock. You need good info, fast, just to get some clarity in all this chaos.
Exactly. And that's what we're aiming for. We've dug into stuff from Truckers VA and Life as a Trucker. They offer, different takes on these big headaches drivers face every day.
Yeah, and we need to look at it from all sides, connect the dots, see how rule changes actually hit your wallet. It's about finding ways for drivers to gain some control back.
That's the mission, right? Knowledge is power here. The message we're seeing, especially from Hervey over at Life as a Trucker, is clear. Manage your time, build up your own financial defenses, don't let the industry grind you down.
Okay, so let's start with one of those big economic pressures. Cabotage. It sounds complicated, but it affects rates directly.
Right. Let's break it down simply. Cabotage rules basically say this. If you're a carrier from Mexico or Canada, you could bring a load into the U.S. No problem there. But you can't then pick up another load inside the U.S. and haul it between two U.S. cities, say L.A. to Phoenix, that domestic freight. That's supposed to be for U.S. carriers.
Okay, that's the rule. But the controversy, as our sources point out, is, well, it's not always followed, is it?
Not even close. According to some reports, we're hearing examples like Mexican carriers allegedly spotting loads around L.A., running them to Phoenix, basically doing domestic runs.
And Canadian trucks, too.
Yeah, stories of them deadheading way down, maybe into the Midwest, picking up in Chicago for a U.S. to U.S. move. It happens.
So this creates tension. U.S. drivers, obviously, they see this and think, what? They're stealing our jobs?
Pretty much. They argue these foreign carriers can undercut rates because they're not playing by the same U.S. rules, taxes, insurance, labor costs, all that. They see foreign plates pulling loads they used to get.
But there's another side to it, right? What do the shippers or brokers say?
Well, the argument there, often from the logistics side, is that they need the capacity. They point to the ongoing U.S. driver shortage and say foreign help keeps freight moving.
And they shift the blame.
Sometimes, yeah. They might say it's U.S. shippers or brokers actively looking for loopholes, trying to save a buck by using cheaper foreign carriers, whether it's strictly legal or not.
So where does that leave the driver? It's technically illegal, this kind of cabotage?
Technically, yes,
Okay.
but the enforcement by FCSA and Customs, it seems kind of patchy. Inconsistent at best.
Which means for the U.S. driver on the road, the reality is you're competing against potentially lower global labor rates right there on the load board. Regulations almost don't matter if they're not enforced.
And that puts serious downward pressure on rates. It's a huge source of frustration.
Okay, so that's the border pressure. Let's switch gears to another big one. The emissions battle. The green fight, as some call it. This is costing fleets serious money, too.
Oh, absolutely. And it's messy because you've got states, especially California, doing one thing and the federal government doing another.
Right. California with CARB, they're super aggressive. Their Advanced Clean Fleets rule, the ACF rule, it's pushing for zero-emission drayage trucks like now, by the end of 2024, and whole fleets transitioning by 2035.
Compare that to the federal EPA.
Yeah.
They're aiming for stricter standards, too, like for NOx emissions by 2027. But it's a slower, more phased approach. They seem more focused on making sure the infrastructure is actually there, remembering past tech rollouts that were problematic.
Yeah, those engine nightmares. So you have California and states following them saying zero emissions, let's go, while the feds are saying, hold on, let's make sure this works.
Exactly. And what happens? You get this regulatory whack-a-mole, as one source put it. A fleet buys a brand new truck that's perfectly legal in, say, Texas. Then California changes the rules, and suddenly that expensive truck might not be allowed on the West Coast. It's chaos.
And the big question, who pays? These zero-emission trucks are way more expensive, right?
Way more. Like 2 or 3 times the cost of a comparable diesel truck. Plus the charging infrastructure, or hydrogen fueling for trucks. It's just not there yet for widespread long-haul trucking. Still mostly fantasy, as one driver put it.
You hear that skepticism from drivers a lot. Okay, maybe electric works for local or regional runs, but hauling 80,000 pounds cross-country and then waiting hours to recharge.
Yeah, the downtime is a killer, too. 6 hours to charge. It's a huge chunk of your day. So it feels like this costly, confusing clash between state ambition and the actual reality on the ground for drivers and fleets.
So we've got economic pressure, regulatory pressure. What about just the day-to-day tactical pressure? I'm talking about traffic.
Traffic. The great time thief. If time is your most valuable asset as a trucker, congestion is public enemy number one.
That ATRI report comes out every year highlighting the worst spots. Atlanta's I-285 at I-85 is still #1, right? The absolute worst.
Still number one year after year. It's not just annoying. Sitting there costs real money in fuel. You miss appointments. It messes up your whole schedule.
And it pushes you closer to HOS issues. It's incredibly stressful. We see the usual suspects, too. Chicago, Houston, LA.
Yep, those infamous choke points. It all adds up. Wasted fuel idling, missed delivery windows leading to unhappy customers, and that constant HOS pressure. It just burns drivers out.
But this is where that idea of taking control comes back in, isn't it? Smart drivers don't just sit there fuming.
Right. They strategize, they plan routes to avoid peak rush hours if possible. They use the real-time apps, Waze, Trucker Path, whatever works, to try and dodge the worst jams. They learn the bypasses.
Because every hour you don't spend stuck in Atlanta traffic is an hour you get back. An hour you can use for yourself, not just for the load.
Precisely. That time saved can be reinvested in, in you, which ties into the bigger picture.
Okay, speaking of the future and technology, we have to touch on autonomous trucking. Is 2025 the year? Are the robots finally taking over?
Short answer, definitely not, according to everything we're seeing.
Really? Because you hear about companies like Kodiak, Aurora, they're running pilots.
They are, yes. But look closely. It's very controlled. Specific, fixed routes, mostly hub-to-hub, a lot of it down in Texas.
Yeah.
And critically, they still have a human safety driver behind the wheel most of the time.
So the Silicon Valley hype machine is running, but the reality on the ground is different.
Very different. The sources are clear about the huge hurdles that remain. The tech still struggles with what they call edge cases. Meaning the unpredictable stuff.
Yeah.
Road construction with confusing signals, sudden blinding snow squalls, erratic four-wheelers cutting you off, things humans handle with intuition.
Right. And the legal questions are massive, too. Who gets sued if a driverless truck crashes?
Exactly. Plus, public trust isn't really there yet. And think about the nationwide infrastructure needed to support fleets of these things. We're a long, long way off.
So the key takeaway for you, the listener, is your CDL is safe. A full-scale replacement of human drivers isn't happening anytime soon. The job's just too complex.
Yeah, that seems to be the consensus. But just because the robots aren't taking your job tomorrow doesn't mean those other pressures, the regulations, the cabotage squeezing rates, the traffic jams just vanish.
Nope. You still face that economic uncertainty every time you check the load board.
Which brings us full circle, back to what Hervey and Life as a Trucker are emphasizing.
Yeah.
If the system feels stacked against you,
then you need to build your own system, your own resilience. That's where this retire from trucking movement comes in. It's about helping drivers get out, but on their terms.
Exactly. It acknowledges, hey, you might love driving, you might need the job now, but you should have an exit strategy that you control.
And the solution they're pushing isn't just save more money, it's different. It involves AI, automation.
Yeah, it's pretty innovative. They're training drivers on how to use readily available AI tools and automation platforms to create extra income streams, specifically recurring income streams.
Okay, hold on. I hear retire from trucking, and I picture a driver, maybe parked for the night, exhausted, maybe the truck stop Wi-Fi is terrible. How are they supposed to suddenly become some kind of online tech guru? Isn't that just trading one grind for another?
That's a fair question, and it's why the distinction they make between a typical side hustle and recurring income is absolutely crucial.
Explain that difference.
Okay, a side hustle is usually trading more of your limited time for more money. Driving for Uber on your home time, maybe. Recurring income is different. It's about setting up a system once.
Okay.
That then generates money for you regularly, weekly, monthly, with very little ongoing effort. Money that comes in while you're parked, while you're sleeping, while you're driving your main rig.
Ah, okay. That does sound different. Like, what kind of systems are we talking about?
Well, one example they focus on is helping drivers learn to set up automated review and reputation management services for small local businesses, using platforms like Go High Level or GHL.
GHL, that's like a marketing automation tool.
Exactly. So you learn how to use it. You set up an automated system for, say, a local pizza place to automatically collect customer reviews. You set it up once, the system runs itself, and the pizza place pays you a recurring fee every month for the service.
Huh. So you do the setup work, then it largely runs on autopilot, bringing in cash.
That's the idea. Other examples might be setting up simple websites or basic automated social media posting for small businesses, selling simple digital guides, things that leverage automation so you're not constantly trading hours for dollars.
I see. And this creates a buffer, A safety net.
A huge one. Think about the risks drivers face.
Yeah.
Freight rates tanking, your company suddenly shutting down, getting fired over some trivial camera footage incident, needing unexpected time off for family.
Right. Things that can wipe out your income instantly.
But if you have one or two of these recurring streams bringing in cash off duty, it provides a cushion. It means trucking doesn't completely own you. It reduces burnout, gives you options, freedom.
And there are resources to learn this stuff. It sounds kind of technical.
Yeah, they've put together a hub called offdutymoney.com. It's specifically designed for truckers. It offers courses, training on tools like GHL, access to AI tools simplified for these tasks, and a community, other drivers learning this stuff too. It's about making it accessible.
Okay, so let's tie this all together. What we've seen is drivers are caught in this vice, right? Economic pressure from things like cabotage, regulatory whiplash over emissions, and just the constant grind of traffic eating away at their time and earnings.
Definitely. And drivers deserve to feel, respected, supported. The path to that, according to these sources, isn't waiting for the industry to fix itself. It's about taking control of what you actually can control.
Which isn't the FMCSA's enforcement policy or California's CARB rules.
No. Those big external battles are largely out of your hands. The courts, the agencies, the politicians, they'll fight those out. The one asset you truly own, the one thing you can decide how to use for your future, is your time, especially your off-duty time.
So that leaves a pretty powerful question for you, the listener, doesn't it? Given all these external pressures you can't control, what will you do with the time you can control? What system, what skill, what stream of recurring income will you build with those hours you save by planning better or just the downtime you already have?
Because investing that time, rather than just letting it slip away, seems to be the clearest path these sources see towards real financial resilience.
And ultimately, retiring from trucking on your own terms, not because the industry forced you out. Something to really think about. We hope this deep dive brought some clarity. We'll catch you next time.